How can they use titles to break forth and start making money from their books?
Well, just like I mentioned before, a book like yours, your book will sell. Anybody will know where this book is leading them to, right? And that's important. You want your book, your title to be unique. Your book will sell is just, I don't know how you came up with that title, Emeka, and even many of your titles. Your book will sell is so unique, like you've not seen it anywhere, and at the same time, it's straightforward and it's very, very memorable. These are factors you want to consider. The shorter a title is, the better it is, because it will help people to remember it quickly. Even looking at the bigger pictures, books that are best-selling books like that. I think it was Emeka, you remember?
Upfront, but they know what they are doing. It's not necessarily because they know the long-term value of a lead or a client. They know how they are going to make that money back. They only just need you to make that payment upfront. So if you think of your book as a business project, okay, it is a project to get your message into the hands of as many people as possible. It is a project to spread your message. Okay? It is not so important how much you make compared to how far your message gets. It's very important that you plan to make money. Very, very critical and important. Okay? You don't want to write to lose. Okay? But I most especially think in terms of how far your book can fly. And when you think it that way, you want to put all the effort and all the work behind it. Plan it well. Just like you plan.
Able to make your book to sell. How do you deal with this issue? When people come back, backlashing you, telling you that they won't follow you, telling you that they will tell other people to follow you, and all those kind of things. How were you able to deal with those kind of issues, sir?
Oh my God, this is making me laugh so hard. Wow. I think over the years, I see social media backlash, for me, is the projection of ignorance. The author must grow to the level of awareness, self-awareness, that irrespective of the response you are getting, positive or negative, is really not about you. I've told many people, when you are being praised, it's not you they are praising, it's your popularity they are praising. So, in the same way, when you are being castigated, it's not you they are castigating. It's just a projection of misunderstanding. Simple. So, don't let, there's a popular quote that says, don't let praise get into your head, and don't let...
Book only becomes a tool to pursue a cause. And so it is natural that because it's a tool, your book will sell naturally. Do you understand? Because you're using a tool to solve a human need, an existing human need, because people were struggling how to balance their life, especially women. So a lot of conversations came from that listen, and you'll be amazed to see the kind of conferences, even at the presidency level. You see her, talking about women. But the whole essence, all she was doing with her book was to use it as a tool to drive that agenda. So whatever you're doing as a writer, you must be able to identify this, and your book must be built around a conversation. When I wrote my book, Omo, of course, it's a book surrounding some of the ordeals young girls go around this part of the world, bordering around human trafficking, sex slavery, how girls are used for gender-based violence, where you see young girls used as suicide bombers and all of that. So I needed to write something about this. And when I finished writing the book, some of the conversations I generated had to do with when I made a research. I did a research on human trafficking of young girls in Africa. I found out that in 2017, girls between the ages of 12 and 19, 17,000 of them were trafficked out of Nigeria for sex slavery. This sounds absurd, I'm sure. These statistics between the ages of 12 and 19
were sold before long. At pre-order level, we had sold 1,000 copies. So by the time we were launching that book on the 1st of November, within all the copies we had almost 600 copies going to Lagos alone. all the copies were gone, and we needed to now do a reprint as we were sending out the copies. So the narrative you build around the particular book you're writing. So your book must have a narrative around it. So it's not enough to just have an idea and just push it out there. You need to begin to build a narrative that people can key into. So when you say this book is now there, people are, they are curious enough to get into, it, to be able to actually learn what it is that you're talking about. Remember, I write on discipline. Is an area in Nigeria that we don't want to hear about. We don't want to hear anybody telling us you should not beat a child. We don't want to hear anybody telling us you should not yell. We don't want to hear it. But it was a narrative, it was new knowledge, as far as I'm concerned, in this part of the world. But it was a narrative that, people were curious to know why it should be like that. And with the kind of, noise we've made in the community about that, that also helped to be able to, for people to be able to key into it. Right now, we are 30,000 plus in our community. However, when we were launching those books, both books were launched when we were less than 15,000 people in the community. So it goes just beyond the number in your community. It is also about the narrative to you. How much do you believe in the message that you're delivering to the people that comes in form of your book? Your idea, you must wear your idea like clothes, as in when people see you, when people come in contact with you, your book idea should be staring them in the face. When I have conversation with people who have never met me before, they want to get my book immediately, because my book idea will envelop my whole conversation with you. So your book idea is important. So even when you're having normal conversations, your book idea should be what it is that circles around it. I see a lot of authors write books without having any idea behind it. There must be an idea, there must be a narrative. What is it that your book is going to do? For instance, your book will sell. The narrative is you have to sell. There's no two ways about it. Your book would sell. What Emeka is trying to do is to say you should not be an author whose book is just lying down there and people are not buying. These things are possible. You can make consistent 7-figure using books. Currently, we do consistently in every month, nothing less than sometimes 300 copies, sometimes more, depending on how much it is that the book is pushed in a particular month. So it is very possible to actually sell your book in thousands of copies in a very short time. So between November and now, for the Discipline That Works book, we've done almost 5,000 copies. So it's in the way you create this narrative, is in the way you drive it. The driver is you. The believer of this idea is you, not the marketer, not the people, not the publishers, not the people you've kept your book in their bookshops. Trust me, nobody sells your book like you. Nobody. Even my PA understands this statement. My PA will tell me, my boss says that nobody sells her products like she will ever do. It is my product. I am the one that has built the narrative around it. So today, build a narrative around that book that you want to push out there. It is important. If you are also going to build a community around your idea, make sure that you stay in a lane